Yes, I heard so many times from my teachers this saying, and it is sometimes people will forgive you a wrong note, but they will never forgive you if you're not singing from your heart.
That's
so
true.
that's actually, I think that every performance should remember why we are doing this. We are doing this because we want to move people and not because we want to show off our perfect technique. Hi.
It's so great to see you again.
Yes, you too.
Yeah, the last time I saw you was, or the last time I was there, you were singing so beautifully in your window for me.
Yes, I remember. It was such a beautiful moment in this depressing time.
I know. Yeah, I have so many. Sometimes these memories come up on my Facebook or my Instagram stories, and then I remember all the lovely people I met during the lockdown times. But I still follow everybody and I see what everybody's doing, and it's so wonderful to see how this time where nobody knew what was happening, and then now I can see how everybody has again found their place and do things. And I always watch you as well and see all the wonderful things you are doing. And I'm so happy for you, really.
Thank you so much. Thank you, really.
But tell me now, since we last spoke, since lockdown, what has happened in your life that what has been the biggest change for you?
I'm a mother now.
Wonderful, congratulations.
Thank you. That's I think the biggest change in my life till now. My little baby turned 2 days ago.
Oh wow. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so it was like not just the biggest change, but also I had to like learn how to balance work and family, and especially being like freelancer artist, you always are afraid to be away for the scene for too long. And so I started to sing very early after giving birth, which is in Europe not so common. and yeah, it was a very hard hustle, but I am very glad that I'm starting to find a balance between those two.
I think I'm so glad you mentioned it, because actually during the time that I did these pictures in lockdown, there was a mother, also a singer, and she said to me that this is one thing that she also, I mean, her baby was then already 2 years old, but she said that that's something that you never prepared for, when you train and when you have this career and you have all these dreams of how to balance being a singer and being a mom, being a performer and being a mom.
It's actually very, very hard work. If it wouldn't be for so much support from my family and in-love family, I wouldn't be able to do this. I have to be honest. I have like an army of people that are helping me, and still sometimes I'm overwhelmed and I think I cannot do this anymore, because there are still so many nights that I am not sleeping, and you still have to go to the rehearsal or organize your life or have the concert in the evening. And sometimes I just don't have enough energy, and then you still have to find somehow energy somewhere to sing, and then you have to find energy to be there for your family, and sometimes it's just not possible. And then I just have to like say, people, please help me, I need some hours for myself, I need to go to sleep, I need to regenerate, or I just need to take a break for a while. And I think it's okay. It's a process of learning this. That's really hard. What is too much for me? What takes too much away from the family, and what takes too much away from the career? And everything is always like just trying out what functions and what doesn't. And sometimes I think it's not going to work ever, and then you try and it works.
Yeah, but we don't always realize, but I always think about it like, from one day to the next, your whole life changes. One day you're pregnant still and you think, oh, I'm going to do it and I'm going to manage it. And the next thing you have a baby in your arms, and suddenly every decision you make, everything you do, it evolves around this little baby, So yeah, it must be. And also because you are also in a career that it's not so, it's not guaranteed, isn't it? It's not, you really have to work and you really have to look for the opportunities and take the opportunities.
And it's just not about taking those opportunities. It's also about to be prepared to get let down. So because what we always forget is like, it's like 10 times you go to 10 times you go to an audition and maybe like 9 times you get to know. And just this one yes is that makes your career. And sometimes it's even more than that. And I sometimes forget how hard it is because you take extra time to go to those auditions or to just like take your chances and you give the money, you take the nanny or whatever, or you organize everything around it, and you still have to be prepared to get to know. Because it's not about how good you are or how bad you are. It's sometimes just about the right fit. And you never know if it's going to be the right fit or not. And you just have to go and take those chances and hope that it's just going to click.
I spoke to a director of musical theater, and he said that casting is not always about how good a singer you are, but it's sometimes about your length or your look or your, it's just all these things that has to fit. Have to fit into the whole
complete idea because if like I have an idea about this role, how it should look or how should it move even, and they like you that, but they see you maybe in different role or even in a different production or maybe not really for this time in any production, but that doesn't mean you're a bad performer. It just means for the ideas they have right now, you're not the right fit. And sometimes it's just so hard to accept because you're like, but I can change. I can do what you want. And it's not even always about that. It's just about who you are. And sometimes it's exactly what they are like looking for. And sometimes it's not. And you have to just be okay with it.
But do you think this time during lockdown where you had this, it was an unsure time for everybody. And I can remember I remember that when I was there, you were talking about having a Zoom lesson with a teacher, and you were talking about the support that you had from your teachers. But do you think in that time also, because everything stopped, that it made you look at your career differently? That you think, okay, it's okay to stop sometimes, or it's okay not to have it.
I think for me, it was more like I started to question myself if this kind of life is for me, to like hustle all the time, to like go and search for those opportunities and hope for the best, but not always know. And I questioned everything about my career, my singing, and if it was the right fit for me. And I think it was a good time to reflect because in the end, I understood for myself that this is the only thing that actually makes me happy. So this is the right fit for me. And this is the right way to live my life because this is how I want it to live. And even though I came to this conclusion, it was, I think, very good thing to question it, to reflect on it, to see what really is that what I want, because I saw so many colleagues to give up and start different careers and to do different stuff, and I was like, maybe I should try as well. Maybe this is not for me. Maybe let's see. And in the end, I came to this conclusion that this is actually exactly what I want.
But that's that honesty, that honesty to be really honest with yourself and delve and look and ask questions and then realize, okay, no, but this is for me. I think that makes you also a better artist for that, that you then realize why you're doing it.
Yes, because you have more reassurance from inside.
Yeah.
Even I think that it actually helped me to deal better with also this freelance living, to be also in peace when I have like these peaceful moments, when I don't have so many projects. Because every time I'm on the stage, I'm just reminding myself I'm being happy just because I am able to do this. This is my career that I chose to, not just because I'm good at it, but also because I really love to do it.
Mm. And then that probably also reflects on your performance, that you enjoy being in that moment.
I really, really hope so. It's something I feel myself, but normally people from the outside can tell better. But I guess it translates on the stage as well, yeah.
But now tell me, where did you start singing? Where did you, or where originally did you start your music lessons?
It's quite a long story, actually. I started very, very young, but not because I was really into professional singing per se. It was like my mom just saw that I loved to sing, and I was singing extremely awfully bad, but really but since like very young age, and she sent me to this child school for children, and I was 2 years old, actually.
Wow.
So I started to perform when I was 2 years old with these children together, and just kind of grew up in this kind of environment with the stage and singing. So I kind of knew from the beginning that I want to be a singer. I just didn't know I want to be a classical singer. I thought I would be like pop, like Christina Aguilera or something.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have the voice for that. Or maybe it's a blessing, because at some point when I was 14, I got to sing my first role in Latvian Opera House with this children choir, and I got a little bit solo. And then I experienced this whole new world with orchestra and costumes and dancing and acting and singing together. And I was like, this is it. I can do everything I love in one discipline. And that was like the turning point for me, where I chose to start to sing classical training. And then with 15, I started to my classical training in singing, because piano I played since I was 6 years old, but like singing, classical singing, I started with 15.
Well, you gave me goosebumps now when you said that you just realized in that moment, because how amazing that you, from such a young age, really, that it just they kicked in, that you got this feeling that this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah, this was kind of really interesting, because every time somebody asked me, what do you want to do? I was like, I know I'm going to be a singer. I was so sure about it.
Really?
And they all the other things were not interesting. The other thing that I loved was cleaning. So I was like, maybe I will be cleaning lady. So my mom always makes fun of me if I have to like play this maid on the stage. She's like, Anete, you're doing your cleaning and you're singing.
2 in 1, yeah. Exactly. Well, if you're ever bored and you don't have anything to do, you can come and clean for me.
I actually really enjoy cleaning. When I have to mind, the first thing I do, I take my vacuum cleaner and just
really. My son is like that. My son even vacuums the vacuum cleaner, and I say,
I'm not that extreme, but I kind of relate.
But amazing that you knew, but did you realize what it entailed? Did you realize what the obstacles were and everything that you'll have to do to get there?
I had no idea. Really? I just knew I'm going to do it, and and life actually played a really interesting curves in my journey, because when I started to train classical singing, I realized I'm like, compared to other singers that also were 15 at the time, actually, were so much technically better than I was, and they had also better training than I had. So I was like kind of unsure if this is for me, because I was like, I can sing, I love to sing, but they are so much better. So what should I do? And kind of a chance of opportunity there was that one girl said, you know what, I need to do this. I don't know how it's in English, Doppeltelötchen. It's like two siblings that are kind of separated when there is small, like twins, and then they meet in some camp, and then there was this.
There was a film about that.
Yes, and there's also a theater piece, and one of the girls who was actually looking a little bit alike, she was like, actually they're casting for my sister, and maybe because you look alike, maybe you want to try it out. And I was 16 at the time, and I was like, let's see. So I started to actually get into theater without any training, and kind of realized I'm really good at it. So I played this one, and Snow Queen also, and also Pippi Langstrumpf. So I started to like playing these children pieces with a real artist, with real actors, without any training, and realized I'm actually good at it, and maybe this was what I should supposed to do, because I'm apparently not so good in the singing, so maybe let's do the theater. So after I graduated in my music gymnasium, I thought, okay, I will try out for actors in university in Latvia, and I didn't get in. I was like the first in the line that didn't get in, and I was like, okay, so this is also a no. So what should I do? And it was very interesting, because I knew, because I was not a good singer, I mean, I had a voice, I didn't have the technique at the time. I knew I had no chance in music academy in Latvia, because they already were reserved, like the free places were reserved for the better people. And I was like, okay, so what shall I do? Because in theater I didn't get in, and this one is also a no. So what shall I do? Because I know this is what I want to do. So I started to search in Europe where I can study without to pay too much, because my family doesn't have any money. I knew I had to like find a university where it's either free or not so much to pay, and where I can like have a job on the side to support myself. So the first one was Denmark. So I went there, and I tried out there for singing, and I also didn't get in.
Oh, wow.
So, and then I met my singing teacher in Latvia, and I did an audition for him, and he was like, do you think you can do anything else in life besides singing? And I was like, no. Then he was like breathing out very calmly, okay, then we need to work. So he was very, very strict from the beginning, and he saw that, when I said there's a lot of work to do. And then he said, you can try Austria or Germany, because he had connections here, because he did his doctor's degrees here. And then he introduced me to some teachers, and I did some auditions, and then I came to Vienna, and also here I did like 2 or 3 times I did the entrance exam and didn't get in. So I was just being stubborn, I guess. And at the 4th time I got in, and I got also an Operette in at the same time, and I started kind of to study in 2 different places at the same time, and my journey started from there. So I was just being stubborn.
But you know what? That's such a great story, because sometimes people just give up after the first time or the second time, and you are proof that it's you just have to. But it's sometimes the timing, and it's sometimes getting to the right place, isn't it?
Yes, and also the right people, the right time. The timing, I think, is the more appropriate thing, because sometimes you're just not ready for it, and And sometimes you're not ready to accept it, that you're not ready for it. That's why you get frustrated and give up. And more and more in my life, I came to the conclusion that if you want something, you just have to go for it.
Yeah.
And maybe you will get those no's, but if it's really something you love to do, and you can see from the feedback that you're not really bad, you're actually good, you just need to maybe learn some skills that you don't have yet, but you have other skills already, then nothing is impossible.
Exactly. And I've also thought a lot about how sometimes the no's are a blessing, you know, that it teaches you something, or it takes you on a different route, or it just makes you think a little bit more. And it's difficult in the moment, but sometimes it's really a blessing to have them, the no's.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
But now, so you were actually very comfortable on stage. So performing is your absolute strong point.
Exactly. My mom always told me, Anete, your talent is not to sing or act or dance. It's not your talent. Your talent is to be on the stage and to take the people that like draw people
Amazing.
in.
But yeah, but that's what and that's what it's all about. But I remember also you were very confident when I asked you to sing in the window, and it was just not a problem for you. You were just there, and I was filming, and you were totally comfortable doing that. That was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I guess it also comes from my childhood, because my mom, when I started to sing, she made me perform like to every family gathering.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So I had a lot of practice.
Yeah, but that's the great part of it, that you have this practice, because I think it's more intimidating singing for one person than to sing for a crowd, you know, because it's very much one-to-one.
Yeah, it's more personal.
Exactly. Yeah. And maybe sometimes we well, maybe as performers, you know, you think, oh, it's the technique and it's this and I'm not perfect yet, but actually it's the audience are there because they want to see you or to hear you, or, you know, and to get the feeling and to be entertained. So I don't think it's always just about the technical side of things. Of course, the technical side makes it for you easier to sing, but you know, I think there's this fine line where it's, you know, where you if it's too perfect, also it's not good.
Yes, I heard so many times from my teachers this saying, Anete, sometimes people will forgive you a wrong note, but they will never forgive you if you're not singing from your heart.
That's
so
true.
That's actually, I think that every performance should remember why we are doing this. We are doing this because we want to move people, and not because we want to show off our perfect technique.
Yeah. No, that's true. And many artists say this, you know, that it's, and it's also that vulnerability when you do make a mistake. It's almost as if the audience have then more compassion, you know.
Sometimes, yes. Yeah. Yes, but it depends on the mistake.
yeah. Of course. But now, so what are you busy with at the moment?
I am doing Operette Dollarprinzessin right now, rehearsals. There's going to be 2 shows end of November in Strasshof with Operette ensemble. I'm doing a very fun role called Olga, a Russian chansonette.
Okay.
It's very fun because it's more about acting and less about singing, and I really enjoy it because I can show a little bit this side of me in this piece.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
And after this, I have in the beginning of December, I'm singing Saint-Saëns Oratorium in Klosterneuburg Gilling, and in Grenzing with this Klosterneuburg Stadtchor and big orchestra.
Oh, wow.
It's a wonderful piece from Saint-Saëns. It's such a beautiful oratorium. It's really, really, really a lot of work, but I think it's going to be beautiful.
But how amazing that you have these 2 things side by side, the one where it's really about the singing and the music, and the other is more about the acting. So you're so versatile to be able to do that.
Thank you. I love it. I love it actually, because in one I can just enjoy this acting side and dancing and being like a performer. And in the other, I can enjoy to perform with the voice, to give the feeling through the voice. And these side by side actually make me balanced kind of again.
And tell me, your baby, can she, is it a girl?
It's a boy.
It's a boy. Can he sort of recognize you when you sing? Do you sing for him?
I sing for him a lot. But it's very, very funny that when I start to sing classical music, if the pianist is at home, he's feeling comfortable. Or if there's like I take him sometimes to rehearsals. If it's orchestra and I'm singing, he loves it. But if I start to warm up, he hates it.
Really?
He starts to cry, and he just don't want to hear it. Or sometimes when I practice, he hates that as well. So I think sometimes maybe this practicing side he hates, and the performance side he loves.
Like his mama.
Yeah, maybe he feels it.
Yeah, maybe he's going to be an impatient little boy.
I don't know.
He wants to skip the practicing part. He wants to do the real thing.
Yes, he hates it when I practice. It's very funny.
That's so interesting. Yeah, that's so sweet, actually, that from such a young age that they already show these preferences.
Yes.
Music, yeah.
Yeah.
But now, tell me, what are the wish now for you for the future?
I just want to sing more projects where I can be on the stage and act, because I kind of understood recently for myself that I love that even more than anything else. Just everything together, to be in one piece and perform as a role and do this from the beginning to the end, to show how the person is changing in a piece. So I really, really hope I will get more these kind of projects, and I hope that that I will find even better balance for both sides of my life right now. Although I have to say I'm very content and happy right now. I am very, very in a good place, and I really hope that this feeling continues.
Yeah. But I think it's a big transition having a baby, and I think the first 2 or 3 years it's always a bit more challenging, and then of course the teenage years comes, but luckily you'll be prepared by then.
I hope so, but you're probably never prepared enough, because your own children are normally different than the others, because they know exactly which buttons to push.
Exactly. Now, after you've had teenagers, it's like just you think, bring it on. I can face anything. I've done that, so you can throw anything at me. But anyway, but do you enjoy operetta specifically?
I think yes. And actually, what's happening right now after having a baby, hormones change and the voice changes. So my voice actually got a little bit bigger, a little bit different. So I kind of need to learn to maneuver this new kind of voice, and I'm doing like change from this light soprano to this a little bit more lyrical soprano. So it's also a very interesting period of time for me, because I kind of need to audition for different kind of roles that I sang till now. And it's very exciting. I really hope it goes up and these opportunities come more and more, because this new role profile that is coming to me is actually that was in my heart from the beginning, and not really yet in my voice. And right now my voice is getting there, but my heart was already.
Oh, really? But did you know before that this is going to happen, or was it just by coincidence?
I kind of knew and hoped because I
Okay.
knew that every singer's voice changes after pregnancy, and it can go either way. You never know. But maybe because my heart was already there, I kind of hoped that it will going to go in this direction. And
Okay.
I'm very glad and thankful that actually did, that it
Mm.
went more lyrical and more in the body and more in the direction where I can do this role change that I actually really, really looking forward to.
But I think if your heart is already there, then it's done.
The body should follow.
Yeah. No, I definitely think so. It's always, it should rather be that way than the other way around.
Yeah.
But I spoke to a ballet dancer who said to me, we also spoke about ballet, being a ballet dancer and being a mum and so on. And she said sometimes she enjoys this, being on stage and doing her work. And then it's that moment then when she took a bow and then came up and and then suddenly think, hey, I'm a mum. And then suddenly, like it's this moment, then suddenly back to reality. Hey, I'm a mum, there's
Yeah.
somebody else there. So so it's good that you have also a life outside motherhood, that you can get fulfillment and enjoy yourself. And I think that is also very important.
Yes, I think so too. I think that is actually one side of my life that kept me sane in the beginnings of the motherhood because I had a very, very hard labor, and the first months were very hard for me. But the music and the stage actually kept me kind of sane. So
That's
I am very grateful for that.
yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. But tell me, Anete, what would your advice be for your younger self?
Mm, the advice that I wanted to give myself is the one that I would probably never would have taken because I know myself. I'm too impatient. But be more patient.
Oh, really?
And it's very funny because it's always the same thing that my teacher told me and everyone around me. But at the same time, I think more than patience, I needed a little bit more peace. As like this inner peace, like this feeling that everything is going to happen how it should, and don't rush things just because you think that otherwise you will lose something. Because I think the inner peace and this trust that everything will fall into place is very, very important, and just not to forget it in the hard moments.
Yeah, I think that's that's so important, but it's also not always easy because, like you say, you if you are driven, then you always think, oh, I should be doing this, or this should be happening now. And actually, like we said before, things have their time.
Yes. And sometimes I regret some very important auditions that got me like a nose, not because I did them, but because I did them so early.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And I don't know if life has it for me that they are going to come back to me again or not. So we'll see how the life turns out. But there are some things that I think I did too early in my life, just because I was driven and I really was impatient.
Well, that was the learning curve. Just see it that way, yeah. But Anete, this was so great talking to you again.
Thank you so much for thinking of me and asking me to do.
I always follow you and Stefan, your husband.
Yeah.
And it was such a lovely. I still the photograph that you have in the window where you the both of you we're so lovely and cuddly with each other. This is so wonderful. And but yeah, I hope that we can see each other in person again soon.
That would be really lovely. I'm very happy to see what you're doing, your work, and everything that you do for artists. Really grateful for that as well, because it makes an impact, I think. So you're doing really a good thing there.
Thank you very much. It means a lot to me that you say that.
No, it's just what I see, and I'm really grateful for that as well.
Thank you very much. Anete, have a lovely day, and a special hug to your little baby boy. And give my regards to Stefan.
I will. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.